Well, folks, the Department of Government Efficiency has once again proved how absolutely necessary they are for oversight in our government. Elon Musk has been working endlessly with his employees to track down the waste that is in our government and try and get it the hell out. And they have uncovered another major lie. And maybe it's not a complete lie, but the Biden administration used very specific words to kind of skirt around the fact that FEMA was indeed funding illegal immigrants. The Biden administration is corrupt as hell, and this is just what we get for it. But before we get into it, if you're new here, drop down below, hit that subscribe button, make sure you never miss another video from us again. And if you like this video, drop down and hit that like button. Now, on Monday, it was uncovered that a FEMA employee, or a group of employees, issued a payment of $59 million to New York City to house illegal immigrants in luxurious hotels in the city. Now, some state officials have pushed back on that and say the average nightly rate they've paid for these hotels is $156, and the luxurious hotels are in the ballpark of $400 to $1,000. But here's the reality. We are in that $59 million was just one payment. There was an additional payment for, I believe, like $19 million. In total, the city of New York last week got $81 million that was used to house illegal immigrants, to feed them, to put clothes on their back, to give them cell phones, to give them Wi-Fi, all that. Which totally contradicts what the prior administration stated. Let's just take a listen into the horrible press. I don't even know what you... Was she even the press briefer, the press... I don't know. Just take a listen into this nut job.
So, disaster relief, this is a falsehood. Disaster relief funds used on immigrants illegally in the U.S. The fact is, no money is being diverted from response needs. That's the fact. So,
okay, yes, no money that we can see so far was directly diverted that was supposed to go to help response victims that went to illegal immigrants. But the reality is this money came from FEMA. Why is it that this money is coming from FEMA? Why is FEMA housing illegal immigrants? Why is it? And I understand it was passed in an appropriations bill, but why is it that why is FEMA doing that? Why are we housing illegal immigrants, period? Now, I've got this great idea. Great, just wild idea. Instead of housing illegal immigrants, where there's going to be reoccurring cost, we could just have them removed from the country using a one-time payment, and then we won't be on the hook for financially supporting those illegal migrants that are in the country. Especially when we have tens of thousands of homeless veterans throughout the country, and most likely millions of Americans that are homeless and suffer with many mental illnesses that are on the streets. We should not be financially supporting people who shouldn't be here to begin with. And when we have men and women who give the ultimate sacrifice to our country, living on the streets, these people defended our freedom. The only reason I can go to work every day, the only day we can do this here, make YouTube videos, is because these people defended our freedom, and they deserve better. We as Americans need to do better. There should not be a single homeless vet on the street. In the next appropriations bill, Congress needs to pass. They need to appropriate funds to make sure that all veterans have housing. All of them. Not illegal immigrants, not Venezuelan gang members. Veterans who gave the ultimate sacrifice to our country. Now, and this is just ridiculous. It is just ridiculous. Now, Elon Musk over here, released this tweet here. The Doge team just discovered that FEMA sent $59 million last week to luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal migrants. Sending this money violated the law and is in gross insubordination to the president's executive order. That money is meant for American disaster relief and instead is being spent on high-end hotels for illegals. A clawback demand will be made today to recoup those funds. Now, most likely what he's referring to is money that was appropriated by Congress to the Shelter and Service Program that's managed by FEMA and Customs and Border Patrol. This was a fund that was created in late 2022, early 2023 that really was money was appropriated to combat the influx of migrants into the country, really into the big cities. They went into these big blue cities, New York, Chicago, LA. They went into these big cities, and then these big cities couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle it. Oh, they're all about sanctuary city, sanctuary city. But then when people are here looking for sanctuary, oh, we need a handout from the federal government to do it. Oh. What a joke. So instead of spending the money to secure our border, let CBP do their jobs and not allow millions of undocumented migrants into the country. We're going to give billions of dollars to big blue cities that are experiencing the effects of mass immigration. And it's not even immigration, illegal immigration. We want immigration here. Mass illegal immigration. We opened the border. And Trump was able to close it down in 24 hours. So that's how incompetent the Democrats were. Not even incompetent. They knew what they were doing. They knew they were keeping the border open. Now, they say the money can only be appropriated and used for people who are legally released into the United States. See the nice little funny words there? Legally released, not legally in the United States. Legally released into the United States. So because Biden didn't had his catch and release policy, they come across the border, CBP intercepts them. There was literally a button. That they would go hit. I wonder if I can find that. Let's see if I can find this online. I can't find it. But if CBP would intercept them and then release them, here's your court date in 70,000 years that you're never going to show up for. Here's your papers. They have now been legally released into the United States. No vetting, no background, no nothing. We don't know anything about these people, but they can get money from the government, that taxpayer dollars, because they were, quote, legally released. Why is it that FEMA is dealing with illegal immigrants? FEMA, their core goal is supposed to be disaster relief, and they did a pretty terrible job of doing it in North Carolina with all of the flooding that happened. It wasn't until President Trump got on scene that there's been some progress, and even then, it hasn't been enough. If FEMA can't do their core objectives, why should we give them more responsibility to deal with the illegal immigrants? They should not be spending money to house illegal immigrants. Their purpose is to assist in natural disaster relief. This just shows the complete moronic nature of the previous administration and what they were doing. Now, currently, the acting director of FEMA said that the people, these 4 people, will be held accountable. And apparently, out of these 4 individuals, one of them was the CFO of FEMA, was let go in response. These 4 people have been let go in response to the payment of $59 million. But there's still a lot of change that's needed. How was this allowed to happen? We need to put all this discretionary spent money needs to be stopped immediately. Now, according to the New York City's mayor's office, they received $81 million in payments last week for migrant-related costs. What a joke! $81 million, which was supposed to cover from like September of 23 to October of 24. Now, the city has a law in place that's called the Right to Shelter Law, which requires that the city provides shelter to anyone who's homeless. Gee, they have no problem passing this law that they're going to shelter everyone, but they don't have the money to do it. So why are you coming to the federal government looking for a handout? Because these people are typically held in hotels. The city says that they currently, oh my God, are sheltering 46,000 migrants. 46,000 migrants. Are you kidding me? Just in New York City. They're housing 46,000 migrants. This is absolutely ridiculous. 46,000. Most of which they say have additional family members living with them. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say. Look at this, right here. Here we found it. The city says it currently has 46,000 migrants, most of whom are a part of a family. Wow, just absolutely ridiculous. If you're going to put these ridiculous liberal laws in place, pay for them yourself. Don't take money from the federal government to pay for it. Because now Republicans have absolutely blasted FEMA for not having enough money to pay for illegal immigrants. Like, this is ridiculous. FEMA has enough money for illegal immigrants when we need to house them, give them clothes, give them money. But then, when a natural disaster strikes, they don't have enough resources to help people affected. And then on top of that, they're instructed by higher-ups at FEMA to avoid homes that displayed any support for President Trump. What a joke. This should not be politicized. If you're a Biden supporter, a Harris supporter, or a Trump supporter, you should not be demonized. You should absolutely not. I don't care who you support. When a natural disaster strikes, you come together. You don't play politics with this stuff. Especially when you're on the ground. Politicians are going to play politics because that's the game they play. But when you're talking about the workers who are going door to door trying to help people, who are politicizing it, that crossed the line. That absolutely crossed the line. We are a country of immigrants. We want the best and brightest immigrants to come to our country. People wait years and pay thousands of dollars to become an American citizen. They have to show that they can financially support themselves. They're not going to be a burden on our welfare systems. They're not going to be a burden on our society. They have good ethics. They're going to follow our rules of law here. But according to the Biden administration, if you come here illegally, we're going to waive all of that. We're going to house you. We're going to feed you. We're going to give you a cell phone. In some states, you can even qualify for a driver's license, like in Minnesota, which just shows a complete lack of respect for the people who did it the right way. A complete lack of respect for these immigrants who paid the dues, who did their time. Total lack of respect for them for doing it the right way. Because all in all, when Congress passes a budget, we should not be focused on caring for illegal immigrants when this was passed in 2022, 2023, when at the peak of the crisis that we have at the southern border. So instead of allowing CPB to do their job, nope, we're going to appropriate a couple $2 billion to spend on illegal migrants here. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. What do these people not get? Close the damn border down, so we don't have to pay $81 million in a week to New York City. It's ridiculous. Appropriate funds to deport these people. End of discussion. Take care of Americans first. Take care of vets first. Take care of American citizens that are homeless first. Don't take care of illegal immigrants first. They're on the low end of the barrel. You take care of vets, American citizens, people who are homeless here, who are American citizens. You take care of immigrants before you take care of illegal immigrants. I would rather give $81 million out in subsidies to immigrants who have done things the right way, who did it the hard way, who did what they were supposed to do, who paid their dues, who waited in line, they waited their turn. I'd rather give them money, not even tell them. Just hand them a check, each of them, here's $5,000. You did it the right way, rather than pay for these illegal migrants to be taken care of in America. America first means we need to take care of ourselves first. Gosh, just pisses me off. But at the end of the day, Trump is in office. We have a Republican-controlled Congress. Things are going to change. We have Doge. Things are going to change. And let's just give a little update. Let's look at the debt clock. Always fun to take a look. I know most people probably haven't stuck around this far, but $86 billion real-time saving objective from the Reducing Government Waste, Fraud, and Abuse in Federal Government Agencies. Wow. $86 billion. Woo. It's only been 3 weeks. I'd like to see where this number's at. At this rate, we'll be at $1 trillion here soon. I'd love to see that. And it looks like it's going up, about 50,000 every second? Maybe a little more than 50,000 every second? How great is this? We need to cut more. But this is going to wrap things up for today's video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Don't comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on the U.S. FEMA funding illegal migrants, but not being able to take care of a natural disaster when it strikes. Until next time.